Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On this week's episode, we feature Frogleg, December's Children, and Pale Norse and the Narwhals. If you'd like to know more about the artists on the show, visit thewhitewallsessions.com for features, links, and videos. Frogleg is a six-piece funk jam band based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. The band is Joe Dunn on vocals and guitar, Dimitri Rollis on vocals and guitar, Elliot Sachs on saxophone, Jimmy Geisinger on bass, Doug Christensen on percussion, and CJ Vanderpool on drums. Frogleg played an explosive set, which included songs mostly from their latest release, 2017's Busy Checking In.
Another day on his man. He thought he lived like the bug on his white man. No regrets, he had a leather patch jacket, sly blue hair. So young he thought those two wheels could take him anywhere. After school he used to ride into town, where he looked for half smoked cigarettes on the ground, and waited till there was no one around. Then all got down, and then the lighter would sound. He drove every track, cause he didn't have much, except for those handlebars that he would clutch. It was the little things that meant so much. He'd ride down the beaten path and leave his trials in the dust. He'd ride down the beaten path and leave his trials in the dust. He'd ride down the beaten path and leave his trials in the dust. He'd ride down the beaten path and leave his trials in the dust. He'd ride down the beaten path and leave his trials in the dust. He'd ride down the beaten path and leave his trials in the dust. He'd ride down the beaten path and leave his trials in the dust.
So, do the songs come from either one of you two at the beginning? And I mean, is that where the lyrics, the idea, the structure comes from, and then it grows from there?
I guess it's kind of it's a little bit it's a little it's it's a little bit of everybody.
Well, in the beginning, Joe is a very prolific songwriter, and he has been since we met in high school, where he made his own CDs and sold them out to the students and whatnot. And a lot of those songs from those CDs are still in our repertoire, and we played them tonight on the radio.
Really? Awesome.
And but what has been really neat is being able to collaborate with everybody, and those are, I think, everyone's favorite songs to play right now, which is our two most recent songs are collaborative efforts.
To get from an idea to the what we heard tonight, who's leading that? Is it the songwriter, is it the band, or is it the song itself taking you to the end product?
I would say it's the song itself, because at this time we're just we have a medium of getting the recorded, just the skeleton of the song sent to the everybody, and then we all kind of learn it. We'd put our little own boogie on it, and then we come in to Mr. Doug Christensen's basement, and then we just kind of see how it works and see what works, and bounce ideas off the wall, and see how it pans out. And it's worked really, really well, and and everybody bounces off of it. And like, the thing about it is like, a couple of the more recent tunes have been like Jimmy, our bass player. He sends me recordings, just simple beats and stuff, and he sends it to me over SoundCloud, and then I just kind of write to it. And his writing has given me a huge push toward like step outside of the box and just write and
Sure.
and be comfortable with it, and write with somebody that you've never written with before. And that's Mr. Jimmy Geisinger. Until the new year, me and him never really wrote together, but then we started sending each other tracks, and he really inspired me to write a couple of these songs that we're now playing,
Sure.
and that we played tonight. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm very happy about that.
Well, they sound fantastic, and some of those, a lot of jam bands. And I'm doing air quotes here for the people on the podcast.
I like that.
The songs are certainly longer than your pop songs, and they tend to wander. But yours all had that wandering feel, except they seem to be. I mean, are they mapped out, or you feel your way through?
There are songs where we leave room to explore new territories and whatnot. And then, sometimes if we're not feeling like, I'm not really feeling like this is going anywhere, we'll just make it quick and concise, night to night. But then it's also really nice to have those 3-minute songs in there. It's an energy thing, just cohesive and with a nice hook. That's what I really love about playing in this band, is the variety like that.
Where is your comfort zone when you're playing live? Do you like to create live, or do you like to know what you're doing before the audience, or both maybe?
It depends on a couple factors. There's like, are we playing an hour set? Are we playing a 45-minute set? Or do we get 2 90-minute sets maybe? And night to night, we've experimented with not writing set lists, and we have written set lists. And sometimes what we like to do is a mixture, is we like to, let's write out the first 5 songs and then feel what the crowd is going to do, feel
Pivot points and all
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's another thing where I would say there's not really a rhyme or reason.
Yeah, I just think there's there's been moments, like you said, where we either don't even write a set list at all, or we do. And there's been moments of we've been really, really comfortable doing that, and then there's been moments where we're like, like Homer Simpson and Bart, what are you doing? But
we end a song and then what do we play? And that's exactly what you don't want.
Well, yeah, the whole Homer.
You want to have. I have the whole song list on stage, and ideally you want to have the next one in mind.
Yeah, and it's a push and pull kind of thing. It's a game of tug of war.
Sure.
Sometimes it works really, really, really beautifully, and then other times you're like, we got to do that a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So let's take a step back. But at the end of the day, I really think that the way that everybody in the group has been working that has been really, really good, and everybody's very. It's all that eye contact kind of stuff, you know. She's like, you better do it, you know. I don't know. It's funny, but it's also kind of evil.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really know. Evil.
But also, you know, you played probably 15 songs tonight, and there were some short ones, there were some long ones. There were no do-overs. Everyone definitely knew where they were at.
Saw you just the other evening, moving to the oncoming lane. Pulled up beside your black windows, hiding all the laughter and sweet champagne. Can I step inside your domain? Ooh. Or should I step back and refrain? The wheels kept on spinning, never to be seen again. And I wonder who hid inside. I wonder who hid inside. And the wheels kept on rolling, never to be seen again. And I wonder who hid inside. I wonder who hid inside. They will never slow down for you, my friend. Running to the next big dividend. They will never slow down for you, my friend. Running to the next big dividend. Hey now, what's the rush now? It's 6 o'clock on Thursday, we're all heading downtown. King of the road, erratic and fast, so the spirits and the cocaine get spilled off the glass. I got some questions I'd like to ask you, but the pedal's to the metal and you got like a flash. The wheels kept on spinning, never to be seen again. And I wonder who hid inside. I wonder who hid inside. And the wheels kept on rolling, never to be seen again. And I wonder who hid inside. I wonder who hid inside. Slick and slide and seeing on a crowded street, flying like an eastbound limousine. Slick and slide and seeing on a crowded street, flying like an eastbound limousine. They will never slow down for you, my friend. Running to the next big dividend. They will never slow down for you, my friend. Running to the next big dividend. Slick and slide and see it on a crowded street, flying like an eastbound limousine. Slick and slide and see it on a crowded street, flying like an eastbound limousine.
With influences spanning many genres, December's Children is a high-energy band out of Grafton, North Dakota. Formed over 10 years ago by Ryan Johnston and Kurt Lowe, the band has collectively written over 300 songs. The band is Ryan Johnston, guitar and vocals, Kurt Lowe, guitar and vocals, Kim Rost, vocals, Mark Sands, drums, and Yen Lee Lowe on keyboards and violin. Our new friends from the North gave us a session to remember.
I hope they all come here, 'cause no one should ever have to be alone on the holiday, yeah. I got me a new set of bunk beds and a rollout, and I can just sleep on the floor, 'cause everybody needs a place to call home on the holiday, yeah. And Merry Christmas to the head case, and I'm wishing you a crazy new year, 'cause all God's people got a place this Christmas, and you folks can stay right here. We could have our dinner on a tray with a Jello cup and laugh until the break of dawn. It's just too bad that every day can be a holiday, yeah. And I can serve up candy canes and I know you won't complain like other folks I know around here. Just bless your hearts, it's the simple things that makes a holiday, yeah. And Merry Christmas to the head case, and I'm wishing you a crazy new year. Long as people got a bless this Christmas, and you folks should stay right here. Drunk, but I could be your hero if I only took the time, and I'd walk a little straighter if you only hit the white. I was thinking I would been someone if I were to have tried. Oh, but all reflection does for me is make me wanna cry. Now I could be your lover, and I could be your friend, and we could be together if you'll have me back again. Oh, take me at my one sweetheart, I never tell a lie. Could you ever find it in your heart to have another try? Oh, the only reason that if all this fear I failed you, but if you'd only put my mind at ease and we could start anew. So I had a little drink, my dear, what more was there to say? If I was sober, drunk and black and white, there's hardly any gray. You told me not to do it, I did it anyway, but you surely have to realize it's just another day. So let's leave it here and hit the bed and close our weary eyes, for I've never been a fan of all the sorrow of goodbyes. Now I could be a savior and life could be sublime, but first you'll have to wring me out and hang me out to dry. Whoa, take me at my one sweetheart, I never tell a lie. Would you ever find it in
protocols. There'll be no more on your sleeping there, so watch me as I grow. I can tell you with conviction, surprise, I'm better now, and I can see you really love me by the crinkle of your breath. Oh, I think it's safe to say we've made some progress through the years, so let's fill a cup and click the glass and drink to our good cheer. Now I could be a lover, and I could be a friend, and we could be together if you'll have me back again. Oh, take me at my word, sweetheart, I never tell a lie. Would you ever find it in your heart to have another try? Oh, the only reason that I fall is fear I failed you, but if you'd only put my mind at ease and we could start anew. Take me at my word, sweetheart, I never tell a lie. Could you ever find it in your heart to have another try? For the only reason that I fall is fear I failed you, but if you'd only put my mind at ease and we could start anew. La 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 la. Hey, la 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 la. Hey, la 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 la. Hey, la 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 la. Hey.
I'm like, all right.
We got
so
we got 1 week to make an album.
yeah, we got 1
Send-
week to put out this Judas CD. I'm like, no pressure at all. Never even heard the songs before.
So did you play drums or did you make
I
drum
did.
noises with
No,
your-
I brought a kit with. They didn't give me guitar cases to pound on, which they were doing previously. So yeah, we went up there
Or
and
garbage
it was,
cans, you
or
know.
garbage cans.
We were
Yeah, it was
sophisticated.
quite interesting, and it actually turned out really well for what we were the time frame and, like I said, the nerves of meeting the guys, first time ever. And they say, okay, we're recording. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So,
And my brother comes up, Scott, he comes up and he forces us to write albums. He'll say, he comes home from the Navy and I'm here for a week, maybe 2. I want an album when I leave. So that's when assembly line songwriting comes in. And we will write an album, record it, and send it off with him in that week or 2. And that's what we have to do. He forces us to. But we do it. So Kurt will come up with a melody. He'll play a line. I'll kind of hum and tune. Perfect. I'll run into the car and write the lyrics and run back, hopefully, to,
Yeah, generally while he's doing that, Scott and I are writing another song.
Yep.
So
then I'll come back in
going
and there'll
on.
be another song, another good chord progression that I'll come and maybe write the melody to.
That's how you
I'll
get
lay down the
26.
lead vocals. That's exactly how it happens. So I'll lay down the lead vocals while they record that. Then they're doing the overdubs while I'm writing the lyrics for the next one. And see, that's how we revolve it. And you can get an album done in 2 weeks. And that's what we do.
Assembly line song.
a lot of spontaneities.
Yeah.
Record it. And, sounds good.
And then we usually, at the end, we call Yen over there. Yen is the musical genius that he is. I'd like Yen to speak a little bit. I mean, he won't never say that he is, but he is. And I love it. One of my favorite memories is one night, it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. He'd been there all day, and we're doing all our stuff. And what do you need, Yen says? I said, well, just put a string quartet down really quick. It's 3, 4 in the morning. And he didn't say very nice thanks to us, but you know what? He did it. And the strings come on, and all of a sudden he's made this band that was just a kind of a poppy 60s type garage group into orchestral, just fancy stuff. So, Jan, I mean, what do you think? What's your impression?
Well, my impression, first I should say I came to North Dakota in 2011 as a faculty member at a university. Ryan is actually my cousin. I married a woman from Crystal called Christina. She introduced me to her brother-in-law, Dean, and he introduced me to this band. He said, why don't you come along to band practice? So I have to warn anybody that is thinking of joining this band. It's one of the most overwhelming and bewildering experiences you can ever have.
We don't expect to.
They don't give you sheet
How are we
music.
going to get people to sign up for this now?
Right.
They don't give you sheet music. They don't even give you the chord progression. You have to listen and figure that out by yourself. And half
We
of the
cannot
time-
repeat what you said. There was way too many. It'd have to be bleeped out.
Half of the time they start playing and then I join in, and after that I say, what was that you just played? And they say, we just made it up. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding. But that's how they operate. That's how they end up being extremely productive. And it's an honor to work with these crazy guys.
Well, thank you. We're pretty demanding because Kurt and I feel that the demand is always on us. Like if I don't write the lyrics in 20 minutes, that whole day's shot, I have to do it. We have to perform. And anybody that joins this band, we accept the same out of them. That's why everybody in this group is talented, like the top. It's the best in the area.
How do you find this kind of talent? And
I don't know.
I'm not disparaging Grafton, Northeast North Dakota, but it's not that easy, is it?
It's not.
No, networking through social media, I think, has really helped out. And then just, like I said, I don't even know how you guys even got my number years ago.
I don't know. That's a mystery.
It,
but we're glad we did
because
because Mark is a great drummer for this band, probably the best because you can come up with the beats that we need to make the songs unique. A lot of drummers, they just hit that marching band. Mark will never do that. See, so he's the best drummer in that area.
At least.
Well, I gotta add,
try to get the best.
Kurt's bass. I mean that rhythm section is
that
just
fills it
solid,
out,
and that really.
You did a great job.
It really you can do so much when you've got that.
Yeah, and Kurt DeCamp just joined the band. We asked him a month ago if he wanted to come on in. By the way, we got a TV gig, and we thank him for being.
Yeah,
and here's 8 songs you've never heard in your life. Learn them in a month. That's how we're really
Did
not.
we even give him a month?
I don't even know if we gave him a month, but
So what Yen said is true. That's how you saw it, Kurt.
Yeah, that's exactly how we are.
There'll be days when you feel growing older, longing for the days when you were young. But neither young nor old possess the meaning. Everybody, so burn them up, the sooner we'll be done. I said, how lovely it is to wanna die. I said, time moves so slow. Just give me a match and light me up, let's go. I said, how lovely it is to wanna die. I said, time moves so slow. Just give me a match and light me up, let's go. One more time. How lovely it is to wanna die. I said, time moves so slow. Just give me a match and light me up that smoke.
Pale Norse and the Narwhals, a 4-piece pop-punk band from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, tore up the White Wall stage with an energetic performance that had the audience tapping their toes. The band is David Saul on guitar and vocals, Jeff Mann on drums, Phil Total on bass, and Russ Stedman on guitar.
Take your girl out, hit the road, and take her with you. And go. Take a girl out, hit the road, and take it with you. And go. Well, let's go.
So, Russ, what projects have you been involved in? I know you did a replacements thing with Mark Romanowski.
Yeah, that was probably the most recent thing. I mean, I've been in a couple of things with Mark where we've done tributes. I'm also in Sister, which is the Prince tribute. Previous to the last couple of years, I hadn't been playing live for many years. In the 90s, I was in a lot of bands that would play like at the Pomp Room and stuff. I was in the Sneakies for a while and had my own band called 10 Center, and then ended up joining a couple of other bands. But yeah, I mean, really Total Drag is what brought me back out, and I think has completely, a combination of Total Drag and the White Wall sessions. It's like we have a really substantial music scene in Sioux Falls right now, because that's what kind of brought me back out. So
I totally agree. I mean, what Dan is doing over there at Total Drag is like, it gives a place to play, and he's building that pipeline. All these young kids are going there to watch bands, so you're building the fans, and then all these people end up going in a band. It's just creating an incredible music scene. What projects were you in before, other than the Rattle Trap, Dave?
I was in one band called Neil. Back in the day, it was kind of when there used to be the Phil's Pub, Little Kalinga crawl back and forth.
Indiana
so
Avenue.
Drink beer at one place, and then in between the sets of the bands, you'd run over and take shots at the other place and try to get back before the next set started. And that's how I really came into the scene here in the first place, was playing with that band. With Jason Bannock would be kind of, he's always been the guy who's always pushed me ever since the beginning to go. And even like today, he just sent me a quick text message saying, "Hey man, have a good show. Sorry I'm not in town, whatever." But I don't know. Yeah, those were really good times. That was pretty much it though. Just
That's
that,
cool.
yeah, 3 total bands I've ever been in. And I do have to say too, like every single thing we've talked about so far as like any of these bands, other than you going back to your bands from back in the day, and the Neil part, but like Jeff Mann's been in like every single project that you've mentioned, which is hilarious.
Well, let's go right to you then, Jay. You have been, yes. You are kind of the I don't know what you'd call
He's
it.
the staff.
Journeyman.
Staff drummer.
It's because I have a house where people could practice.
And the drums.
That's the only reason. I wasn't in the replacements thing. I think that's the only one.
Oh, yeah.
But
I saw you at a replacement show, though, recently.
Yeah, yep, that's true. I kind of grew up playing music in Denver many years ago. I was a big fan of kind of alternative music, but I wound up playing in a working blues band for about 6 or 7 years. And then I didn't pick up a drumstick for about 17 years. And
Really?
just took a big break, got into art more so. And then once I moved up here, I kind of had the bug for it, and I kind of got back into it subbing with Steve McFarland and Big Red Rocket Riot, just doing occasional shows with them, and that just wasn't enough after a while. So I started seeking out other projects and some different things to do. So
Sure. And Phil, I got to say, your bass. I mean, I just love that punchy, kind of melodic. I mean, you're not just going thunk, thunk, thunk. You're doing a lot of interesting, cool stuff.
Thanks.
How long have you been playing bass?
Bass, I don't know, probably 6, 7 years, somewhere around there. I was a guitar player for a long time before that. Still play guitar, but the actual picking up of the bass and doing that was kind of, I would say, probably in the last 6 or 7 years, give or take.
And what were you involved in before the Rattle Trap?
I was in, I lived in Minneapolis for a while, and I went to school there, did some music school and stuff like that, and played in a handful of kind of like basement punk band kind of things going on. It was sort of I guess like a juxtaposition of, I'm going to music school, but I have to play like the shittiest music possible. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
No, I definitely know what you mean.
Yeah, there was just sort of that need to sort of reject that. I don't know. It's kind of a youthful kind of thing. But was in Vermilion for a while. Played in kind of a country group down there for a while. Had another kind of sort of one-off punk band thing that I was doing down there. And when I moved up to Sioux Falls, I had known Baby D from Vermilion, and they kind of set me up with playing with the Rattle Trap.
So who writes the songs?
I wrote the songs for the EP when we did a split, Baby D and I, and 4 of those songs were the ones we played today. 2 of them we kind of wrote together, which was what we were going to do in the first place. But I'd say that they came together with us. I don't think anybody really wrote them. We kind of just wrote them as we played them. I felt. I don't know. Yeah. Sure. Yep, that's how it happened.
Is it just, how does that, you start playing together and you start feeling something, then the songs starts emerging out of that, or how does it?
I think you just start with something that's, like this is a start, like what, and then, people start playing and it kind of goes. It's kind of like a jam thing, but like I'm not a jam guy, so like I have to have some kind of product to start with, and I think that's what it basically. And then we just built from that, which was good.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds great. Do you usually, so someone doesn't necessarily come in with a couple of chords together and an idea for a song. It just kind of starts happening as you're playing, or
no? I'd say the chords are there. A couple chords. Yeah.
I think Dave had the sections of the songs in mind, and we kind of just elaborated them and arranged them.
And I've always said before, like, maybe you write a couple different things, but, you try matching them together. And I think a lot of people traditionally, you'd probably be able to say for sure, but like we'll write a song and compose the whole thing. I like writing chunks and just seeing what chunks actually match up together later. So instead they're more like Lego blocks, like, yeah, no, yeah, okay, yeah.
Really?
And then, you know, I think it just keeps it a little mixed up.
That's interesting. That I can see where that would definitely work. You kind of have this bit here, and then you mix and match them, and then they... Do you ever write a song and it's done, and then you write another one and say, oh, I wish I hadn't used that bit in that song because it would really work in this one?
No, because once it's a song, that's just a little baby.
Then you just move on, yeah?
Yeah.
Totally get that, too.
Yep.
How long have you been playing guitar, Dave?
Wow. I guess 22 years.
Really?
Yeah, be right. Wow. Yeah.
So, Russ and Jeff, both of you played and then took a long time off and then came back. Russ, let's start with you. Why was that? And are you glad you came back, I guess, was kind of a silly question.
Yeah, I'm really glad I came back. I mean, because I guess the reason I stopped was I just, there wasn't a lot going on in town that interested me. There was there was kind of a punk genre that was happening in this town that was kind of all the same, and I wasn't into it at all. I'm not a screamy vocals guy. That's not my thing. So, plus I was getting a little bit older, and I was getting a little bit more tired of carrying amps and stuff, and you know, various other lifestyle things were just like, I mean, I've had 2 or 3 times now where I've said, you know, I'm not doing the band thing anymore. I am tired of carrying stuff around. But coming back, it's been a lot more encouraging because there's so much more support here now for all kinds of different bands than there used to be. You know, I think this town went through stages in, say, the 90s or the early aughts where it was like, okay, all the bands and all the local bands sound like this, or all the local bands sound like this. It was real cookie cutter. And now, and I credit Dan and Liz for this too, because they'll put 3 different bands on a bill that sound completely different, which I absolutely love.
You talk opinions and not what you do.
like to know more about the artists we feature, visit thewhitewallsessions.com. The White Wall Sessions Radio is recorded and produced at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Last Stop Studios is located in the lower level of the Last Stop CD shop at 2121 East 10th Street in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger and Doug Taylor. Head of broadcast engineering is Dave Palmer. Audio technicians are Chad Conrad, Carl Koiser, and Dave Palmer. Audio mixing is Chad Conrad. Associate producer is Michael Yeager. Scheduling and sales is Tom Eisner. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. Join us again next week for another edition of the White Wall Sessions Radio.